Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the tracks and they must be mine.
Look at Mbappe, three wide going into school.
And Mbappe got it. Oh, what a move! What a move!
You know what I mean? All my people right here, right now. You know what I mean? All my people right here, right now. You know what I mean?
Puts himself in the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL. But now he's a three-time F1XL champion. He's brilliant.
For what you believe, so open up your fist, no you won't receive the thoughts and the words of every man you'll need. Step off the train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the F1XL F1 race of the Circuit of the Americas, and what an intro! What a length intro that is. We are here once again with Ollie and myself for round 18, if I remember correctly, of this 22 round season, which is seeming to be, well, coming towards the end. We've still got a big title fight going on, so it's not all. I don't know why my TV sound is so quiet. Hopefully that is. You're not picking up any of this, are you? Ollie, start speaking for me, because I think there could be a problem.
Oh no, not again. It's not the first time we've had problems. Hopefully we can fix it before the race kicks off, Gareth.
Well, you're fine. It's just the actual game sound is really quiet. What have they done?
Oh no.
Oh wow.
That's not good.
It's probably the thought of EA now in the process of trying to take over Codemasters at the same time. That is probably what it is. Let's start with that. Actually, screw F1XL. Have you heard that Take Two were looking to buy out Codemasters, and boom, all of a sudden it's EA's game. They've just put in a bid as well.
Yeah, from what I gather, Take Two were looking to buy the license for F1, while EA are looking to buy Codemasters completely. So Codemasters will still be making the games, it'll just be under the EA branch. So whether
loot boxes
we see game improve, well, yeah, it'd be like Ultimate Team in FIFA, but mixed with F1. Which I had a quick chat before with a couple of mates on the podcast about it, but whether it turns out to be good, who knows?
I mean, you might have to buy certain pieces. Maybe you start off with only 3 teams to start off with. Your Haas, your Williams, and your AlphaTauri, and then Alfa Romeo. Sorry, and then you have to buy the DLC packs at a later date. Okay, enough ripping into EA and Codemasters for that matter. Let's go back down into business. And obviously, last time out was the Mexican Grand Prix, and it was a pretty hectic Grand Prix. I know I had issues, so you weren't there. So, 6 safety cars in all, 3 of each. Plenty of incidents, plenty of action. Well, we both nearly missed a good one.
Yeah, I'm quite gutted looking at what you told me and what the drivers have said and looking at the standings. I seem to have missed a cracker, which I'm slightly annoyed about. But you know, we'll digress. And where it'll be a. I was gutted that I did miss it. We've already got a retirement. Niels is retired from the session. I'm not sure where that is on track. But this week we're just not far actually, Gareth, in America. So hopefully we have another cracker tonight.
Well, if I've made this joke plenty of times on the Wednesday's extra show, we had to jump over Trump's invisible wall from Mexico to America because that one didn't get built, did it? But at the moment, Master Swain is P2 with Prophet Meady in P1. The Williams is looking very feisty early on in this qualifying session, both first and third. Light Shock, a very standout time on a set of mediums in fifth. That's a great time. 8/10 exactly behind his title rival in Master Swain. Now, a gauntlet was kind of set out by Light Shock last week, and he's even done it in the chat this week. He's feeling very, very confident about this track. And I know if you're in Master Swain's camp, you would be hoping that Binary and Light Shock come together, crash each other out. Well, maybe not like that, but some big difference between the two of them. So Swain gets a maximum amount of points over those two to continue, to get back into the fight. I know you missed. I can only remember Light Shock really winning. There was a bit of a controversy with timings and penalties given to Binary, so I don't know if he did eventually get P2 in the end. Initially, he dropped down to P4. So that's, well, we'll wait. I'll wait and see. I'm sure Pingers is in the chat, going to give me the information fully in a bit. But he's down. Speaking of Pingers, he's down in 8th currently. It's nice to see the Renault of WRS Cam back this week. There are 18 drivers for this one as well, so a nice fullish lobby as well. But a lot of people so far, well, I say a lot of people, it's kind of evened out between mediums and soft runners at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a mix at the moment for the drivers. Whether it's pretty great at the moment. Whether we have rain, I don't know, or whether they're just testing out their tyres as they go round. We'll have to wait and see. But still, half the grid yet to do their lap times, with one retirement of Niels and retired at sector 3, turn 14. So not sure what went wrong for him. But was that a flash of rain on my screen, or maybe I'm just blind? I'm not sure.
Didn't see it, but it is very dark in America right now as Cam goes straight on after collecting a pole position time currently. Pingers has told me that he did get P2, so his times did get removed, so some points back for him. Let's go on board with LR Sanchez 9781. I'm just going to call him Sanchez. He's purple in Sector 1 currently, so a nice swift time at the moment. Let's see how he handles Sector 2. Goes a little bit wide where a few seasons, maybe last season, in the real F1, that's where Vettel lost his suspension on his back left, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Now, I know we don't usually talk about setups. We know this is a pre-set-up league only. You get the choice of 5. But with 2 straights, as long as they are as purple again for Sanchez in Sector 2, and he's being held up by a Ferrari by the looks of things, who does dart out the way. I'll get to my question now. I know the favoured setup is setup 4, but with this track, with a tricky third sector and a tricky first sector after the straight, would you go for a setup 3 and be a bit more vulnerable on the straight? So
it's a difficult one, isn't it? It depends what you like and whether you can defend on the straight. If you can defend on the straight, yeah, go for 4. But if you feel like you're going to make most of your overtakes in the twisty sections, in sector 3, which there is a big overtaking manoeuvre through 15, that double tricky like double left-hander some of the drivers take. So it depends what the driver's like. It really does. I'd personally go with 4 and then park the bus to sector 3, but that's my driving style. But we'll see. I'm sure we will be able to tell once the drivers get going what sort of setups they're running. But Sanchez on pole by just over a tenth of a second over Cam in second. So it's nice to see 2 new names up at the top of the grid.
Well, we've seen flashes of the pace that Sanchez is capable of, but we've always had light shock and binary, and even in this case, Master Swain always looking that little bit faster. And Turkey's manages to throw himself into P3. Now, that's a name we haven't really spoken about much at the top of qualifying this season since the beginning of the season. His teammate isn't here, which is Gunhead, because he is, I believe, if I get this correct, on his stag do, which he's getting married soon. Poor bloke. No.
Fair play.
So yes, congratulations for Gunhead. But so Turkey's is the lone Racing Point driver at the moment. I mean, does that? Would you think that puts extra pressure on you to perform if you were a lone driver for 1 week? I know this is a question kind of out of the blue, but we got 8 minutes left.
I think it does, because you've got more pressure on yourself. You're the only driver in the team turning up. You've got no strategy to work with your teammate. We've seen in the past how the Red Bulls have worked together, and how the Williams and both the banana cars have also done it. The Renaults have worked together efficiently in qualifying and in the race. So being on your own it adds an extra challenge to it, and as well for the constructors. When you've, of course, one car turns up. I mean, it depends what car it is, but yeah, it is more pressure on you, and hopefully you can relax a bit more, and you try and relax as much as you can. But it's not easy. So hopefully, well, he's doing all right at the moment. He's up in P3. Everyone seems to be moving to the soft tyre now as well. So the medium runners are just getting the practice in. As Prophet Meady has gone pole in the Williams, the 130.6. So times are tumbling up at the top.
So I believe he was set as a 130.9 to start with, one of the first of the front runners to set a lap time, and Light Shock then going out and not obliterating the time, but definitely putting a marker down for people as we're on board with Master Swain as he goes over the line. There is a yellow flag in the first sector crossing the line. What can Swain do? Oh, he slows down. Swain slows down over the line. That's an interesting one. So may not be happy with his lap time. Maybe I spun up the tyres a bit too much. He's still got plenty of time to set another lap time in, so it's not end of the world stuff for the Red Bull driver. As wow, Pickled Avenger is going backwards over the line. He's going to get himself disqualified if he's not careful.
Yeah,
there we go.
Careful. There we go. There's your answer, Gareth.
As Xbox Nuthead goes P10 with that, but that's an odd one.
Yeah, maybe frustration. I'm really not sure why he's done that, and he will start behind Niels as he's been disqualified. So, Pickled Avenger, not what you expected there. Again, not helping his teammate either, who's up in second at the moment, where they could be on different strategies, but having a teammate up there with you is rather helpful. So, unfortunately for Prophet Meady, he's going to be on his own for a lot of the race.
There's just check the chat. Pingers has said that there's no rain forecast for the race. Doesn't mean there will not be any. We know how well Codemasters is. But Squidgy Genie then, a return for Squidgy for this race. It's been a few weeks out, but he's up into P3 currently, the Haas driver, which is a nice little time there. An interesting return as well. Sanchez, his teammate on the day, is coming through down the back straight at the moment. I believe he's the next one to set a lap time. So interesting to see all the way through. Family Guy down into P16. He's on a lap as well. Be interesting to see how he handles after, I think, if I remember rightly, he had a poor, well, not a poor race, but a difficult race last time out. And I know you weren't there for that, so you can't really comment on that and carry on that conversation. So I'll...
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, my bad. My commentary skills are going right out the window at the moment. But Sanchez then coming through the last few corners. He's on the last corner now, actually, and over the line. And it's not quicker than his original lap time.
Yeah, well, there's still time to go around. I mean, can he get in? If he straight lines the first couple of corners, he might be able to get in the pits and back out again for one more lap. But it's going to be tight for the Haas driver. I'm switching on board with Cam at the moment. He's coming down the back straight, down sector 2 into the heavy braking zone. I believe it's the end of sector 2 here. Whether he's quicker, don't think he is at the moment. But yeah, 3 minutes left. Crucially, Swain down in 7th and Binary down in 12th. I know there's still laps to go, but crucially for Lightshock, he needs 8 points behind Binary at the moment in the standings. So he's doing all right at the moment when such a blistering time as well, down to 30.4. So Lightshock doing all that he needs to do at the moment.
And he is going out one more time as well, just to try and cement maybe. And it's second for WRS Cam. He couldn't nick it off Lightshock in the end there. Let's go on board with a Ferrari. But it's the Ferrari of Binary who's coming through the first sector. He's purple apparently in sector 1, if you can believe the timing screens. He's coming through now into what I believe is meant to be the fastest lap of the fastest part of the circuit, sector 2. But I'm always a bit dubious of it because of that. The entry into sector 2 is always a bit slow, and you're always, I don't know. Anyway, he's coming down now into turns 12, the heavy braking zone, as you said earlier on, and he's looking pretty quick at the moment, and it could very well be a pole for the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, I was on board with him on his first fast lap, and he was slow in the third sector. Whether you, like we said, mentioned earlier about the setup options, Family Guys retired from the session. It looked like the end of turn 12 there for the McLaren, but whether Binary can do it, make sure he doesn't go wide coming around turn 19 and 20. Looks to keep the car on circuit. Where will Binary put his car? He puts it up to second place, just over a tenth behind Lightshock, but he's faster in the last sector, so I'm not sure. He's been fastest in every sector, so whether he's been beaten as the lap goes on, I don't know. But unfortunately for Binary, it will only be P2, well, the best of P2.
Yeah, with Lightshock and Swain still to go, and Squidgy Genie as well, and Prophet Meaty. There's still some names in there that have got to set a lap time out. And I'm actually on board with Turkeys right now, and he's just invalidated his lap time, and he was looking quick, to be honest. That's why I kept on board with him. And he won't be going any higher than 9th unless he decides to put a second lap out on those tyres. And Stracker has also invalidated his lap time. Squidgy has invalidated his lap time. Let's go on board then with Prophet Meaty. Maybe Meaty is the one to dethrone Lightshock. I don't think Binary will push a second lap on those softs because it's very difficult to make a strategy work when you're overusing the tyres here. 13 seconds left of qualifying. Left of qualifying. Didn't need that extra left in there. Sorry about that.
There we go. 2 tenths quicker. Lightshock.
Sinful Chris. Oh my God.
Oh wow. Where did that
Out
come from?
of nowhere. Sinful Chris. He's done it on 2 lap old tyres, but he has just... wow. Straight after Lightshock. Could be because he was following Lightshock through. He was right behind Lightshock, so that could be why. But take nothing away from it. He's been really quiet in this qualifying session so far, but he's claimed pole provisionally at the moment. What can Prophet Meaty do? It's only P3 for Prophet Meaty. It's quickly go on board with Master Swain. He's coming through the last bits now. He's in 10th currently. It's not a position you want to be in, but he's swerving, and I say swerving, he's angling his car through the corners pretty perfectly at the moment, but a little slide at the end. Where is Master Swain? It's only P6, but that is an incredible close amount of time, really, between 4th and 6th. And is that qualifying over and done with? No, it's not. It's SF Pred who's coming through the final corners now. We've seen him win a race this season. What can he do? And it's only well, he's not improved at all. Light shock going very slowly then around the track. I wonder if he'll just retire from the session at all, or if he's just going to slowly drive into the pits. Now, a quick word from you on qualifying.
Well, if you look at from 4th to 7th, they're all in the 0.5s, which, incredibly close. But from 1st to 5th, there's 5 tenths. I mean, we don't normally see that such a big gap. And to see Simple Chris on pole, it's a great display. We don't normally see great qualifying from him, and he's usually one of the drivers who is sort of starts at the back and works his way through. So it's great to see him on pole with different sort of pressure now, I think, Gareth, leading a Grand Prix rather than catching and overtaking. So whether he can keep it at front of the grid or anyone else will take it, we'll have to wait and see. But another good, close qualifying.
Yes, and it's him, Sinful Chris, on pole with Light Shock in 2nd place. Prophet Meaty 3rd with Binary in 4th. TES Sloppy in 5th with Master Swain alongside him in 6th. 7th is WRS Cam and 8th is Squidgy Genie. 9th is Sanchez with Straka in 10th. And 11th is Turkeys, and 12th is Madman. Pingers in 13th, Xbox Nuthead in 14th, Family Guy in 15th, SF Pred in 16th, Niels 998, who didn't set a lap time, in 17th, and Pickled Avenger, who got disqualified, is in 18th. And I am just going to sort that out quickly. And it's a bit of a mental track, this one. With a... I mean it as a like, not, oh, it's crazy. It's just quite physical. Like, obviously, if it's in real F1, it's quite physical, but also it's quite mentally draining, because you've got two parts of the track which are very technical, and then you've got 2 straights which can be deemed as boring. Obviously, it's not, but you know what people say. It's difficult to continually be switched on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the first sector, it's just all momentum, getting on that first sector, and then big old wait through sector 2 while you're on the straight, and then it's tricky final sector with lots of twisty turns. So it is, like you said, it is a bit of a crazy track. Lots of elevation gain and loss, which, like we saw this year in real F1, any elevation equals good racing. So if they can continue that, if they can, with the fact they've got that at this race, I mean, going uphill to turn 1 is quite a unique thing. Like, Brazil have got it as well, but it's a good old track. I do quite like it, and I'm fingers crossed you have a good race. And if qualifying has got anything to go by with such a mix-up, Gareth, I'm sure we'll have a good race here tonight in the USA.
Now, we've got 28 laps, 20 corners, and around the Circuit of Americas, it's it's probably more like 150 kilometers for the full track length constantly for the 28 laps. And it's going to be an interesting one. Definitely. I completely agree with how the elevation does change perspective and interest into F1. I don't know. People will be braking a little bit earlier into those corners, and especially it's a little bit downhill into that hard braking of 12 as well. So it is all over the place. And then is it 16? I might be wrong. Is it? No, it's 17 and 18, the long right-hander around the stadium thing that goes up into the sky. I know it has a proper name other than that. Now, that is tricky, and if you touch the curb just wrong, then it can go terribly wrong for you, and that could very well have been what happened to Neil's 998.
No, he binned it at turn 14, so I think he hit the curb in a really awkward way, or lost the back end and put it in the wall, I think. But we'll have to ask him after the race if he's in the podium places. I'm sure we can ask him, but be a tall order to get up on the podium. But turn 6, 17, 18 is a tough old corner. But we have seen side by side through there, and try and hold it on the inside or outside through 19. So it's one of the tracks where there can be lots of overtaking. I'm sure, and I hope we see side by side through that first sector, because it is a brilliant sector to race through, and I'm sure we'll have some good racing through there.
Now we are readied up, and they are ready for the formation line. It's the first time this season we've seen an Alfa Romeo on the front of the grid, and it's a little bit of a different. What is going on with Sloppy's car? Okay, it's not happened now. That's fine. It looked like he had an orb over his car.
Oh, he does. Oh, it's gone again. That was the driver didn't want to sit down in the seat. It looks like, but he's back in. He's strapped back in now. Seatbelt was a bit loose, I think, but he's strapped in properly now.
Clearly had a bit of wind to propel him out of the car as well. I'm not sure what Pingers is feeding him. There is an ongoing joke within the F1XL community that Sloppy lives in Pingers' basement. So we'll leave that one there and move on to the race.
I think so.
Now, detail. Positional changes are probably for the best on this one. Though I will have a quick look at the tyres. Pingers starting on softs, as is Turkeys. They're the only two outside of the top 10 to do that. It is possible. It is possible to do a softs to hard. And if anyone can do it, these guys will. But I don't think they'll try it. I think it will be maybe a soft medium. But these guys prove me wrong on a weekly basis. But as they're popping down round that long track, that's the best way to describe it, circuits. Have you got any prediction of who's going to win this one? Because the top four, well, I'll say the top three is a little bit different to what we're used to at the start of a Grand Prix. Yeah,
it's a little bit different this week, isn't it? Tricky one. I think anyone in the top 8 could win it today, even top 9. Sanchez has been someone we haven't seen enough of yet. I mean, coming in mid-season. But I'm going to put my money on Profit Medium P3 to win it here in the USA.
Fantastic. I'm going to go a little bit further down the order. He hasn't had a race victory yet this season, but I'm going to back a McLaren of Sloppy to take his first victory of the season and claim that top spot finally. But we'll wait and see as we await the cars. And the final car of Pickled Avenger, who will be pretty annoyed back there for getting himself disqualified. But least said about that, the better. Come on, give me a good camera angle, not on the front wing. What is going on? Right, here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here at the Circuit of Americas. And we're away, and it looks like it's a good start there for the Red Bull behind Binary. That's a really good start. Binary's dropping down the orders, but Light Shock is going up the inside. Swain's gone right up the inside. That's a bit of a cheeky move, but Simple Chris has held the position for now. Let's move back up with Light Shock quickly. It is Sloppy up into third. Master Swain and Profit Media still fighting over P4 and 5, but Binary is down to 7th place currently. But Simple Chris has got the lead and stuck it there at the moment. He's keeping it all safe from the Alpha Tauri at the moment, and that's a little bit of a quieter start than what we're used to. And what have I missed back below?
A big little ding-dong between Cam and Sanchez here, and Cam just about keeping the position through turn 11, but not too much movement at the moment, Gareth, coming down this straight, but I'm sure we'll see some weaving and trying to come down the inside, coming into turn 12 on lap 1.
Looking like Binary is struggled just a little bit to get off the line, which is unlike him. And Squidgy Genie is up 2 places. A great start for him. And there's someone dropping down the order. Is that Pred and Madman having a little bit of a fight? And Madman is trying to stick it up the inside of the Red Bull. And it looks like it might actually work. Oh no, Pred has squeezed himself back into position. Let's have a look a little bit further up. And everyone's, as Pred receives a penalty there, that's very early on to get a penalty on lap 1, and unlike Pred as well, but he's got a lot of work to do. Let's have a look and build with Turkeys, because him and Sanchez are very close together as the timing screen is all over the place again. We are on lap 2, not lap 3 of this American Grand Prix as Binary then. Oh, up the inside, Turkeys on Sanchez, and Sanchez has dropped down another position.
Yeah, not the best start for Sanchez. Maybe commentator's cursed there, but he's down into... Well, I'm not sure where he is, but that's a penalty for his troubles as well. So more commentator's curse striking Sanchez here in the US of A, but I think it's back to normal now. And Binary looking pretty quickly now. He's going to try and get Squidgy Jr. coming into turn 11. Can he get around the outside? That'll be a move if he can. He's still there. They're side by side. And Squidgy's going to push him to the outside, but no DRS for the Ferrari as of yet. But they're coming down toward turn 12 for the second time. Can Squidgy hold him off? He's on the inside. He puts the car to the outside. Can he hold position? The Ferrari's going to have to go around the outside through 12. It's going to be difficult. He's late on the brakes and he just about hangs it around the outside. And that's a good move from Binary up into P6.
I don't know why, but I thought there was going to be contact through all that then, but they got through it cleanly at the end. I don't know if the timing screen is right, because it's saying that Binary is pretty much in Master Swain's gearbox, but that doesn't look right on the screen. Let's have a quick look. Straka, there's nothing really going on back there at the moment. It's just all concertinaed at the moment, and Lightshock still trying to get past Simple Chris at the top, but DRS is open this lap, and I'm sure Lightshock is going to use everything to his advantage to get through Simple Chris this lap, but he has a train of cars behind him as well.
Yeah, he's any mistake that Lightshock makes here, Sloppy and Prophet will be all over it. So he's got to time the overtake on Chris right. DRS now enabled as Straka and Squidgy both get penalties there on lap 3. But look how close Lightshock is to Chris now as he come up to turn 11. Chris is going to be a sitting duck coming down the straight, Gareth.
Yeah, and this is, well, I don't know which one's best to go from. Maybe Prophet Meady, just to have a look down the back straight. Maybe Sloppy, because Simple Chris is going defensive, but Lightshock is squeezing himself up the inside. And has he got the move done? He has into turn 12, but he's trying to switch back through it. But they're still side by side through. And Simple Chris is not giving up easy, is he? He's still battling away. Will he go up the inside? Oh, he tried it. You could tell what he was doing from 14. He dropped off a little bit just to have a little nose up there, but Lightshock was wise to it and cut him off. It's still, the top 4 can barely be separated right now.
Yeah, you could tell Lightshock knew what Chris was trying to do there, but good on Chris to try it through there, but up the straight they go. Can Sloppy or Prophet do anything coming up into turn 1? I think they're a little bit too far away from each other. Chris looking very close coming into the braking zone, but no moves as of yet. We haven't seen any side-by-side action through the first couple of corners yet, so hopefully as the race progresses we'll see a little bit more of that, because it is a sector where they can do it, very much like Maggots and Beckett's.
Simple Chris has made a mistake.
But I was about to say, yeah, he just made a mistake through there, and that's that Sloppy through, but no, not yet. Jeez. That was close, but Chris, again, going to be in trouble coming down to turn 12, Gareth.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I think this is partly down to Simple Chris using an extra... Oh, is that Xbox Nuthead gone through the S's, similar to Maggots and Beckett and Niels? That's not good at all through all of that. That's pretty terrible back there, but Simple Chris dropping off and just about keeping hold of DRS. Interestingly enough, Master Swain and Binary in a little race of their own just behind this lot. Swain can't keep up. it's not that he can't keep up. I think it's just he can't catch up. I think this has been a problem for him for this race. And yeah, apologies again to cut you off, but Simple Chris going wide through there, and I thought Sloppy was going to do exactly what you were talking about at that time.
Yeah, it was almost like I'd rubbed my magic lamp, but it was about to happen through the first sectors. With all yellow flags further back, I'm not sure. I think that's Pred making a mistake down in 15th, but as they begin lap number 5, Lightshot leading this race by 0.8 of a second, but Sloppy looking racy as they come up to turn 1. He switches it to the inside late on the brakes, but he's not close enough. But Chris has gone incredibly wide through turn 1. They're going to go side by side this time, Chris and the McLaren, but it looks like Sloppy has made it through relatively easily through there, Gareth, and that is him up into P2, and now he has to hunt down the AlphaTauri of Lightshock.
Yeah, the Alfa Romeo is struggling. He is on a lap older tyres than everyone else because of doing that extra lap for qualifying. As Lightshock and Sloppy receive a penalty there. That is big. On the pretty much same part of the track as Prophet Media has a quick look at Simple Chris, but it's nothing on this occasion. And Swain is slowly maybe catching Prophet Media ahead, but he's got to worry about Binary behind because he's right there as well. Will Simple Chris get anything on the McLaren ahead? I don't know if what the pace advantage between Sloppy and Lightshock was, because they were stuck as Binary's got up the inside of Master Swain into turn 12. And Master Swain has dropped to 6th, but that's where he started. So it's not a terrible thing, but it could very well do harm to his title challenge. But he's always been a bit quicker at the end of the race than he has at the beginning. So interesting one to keep an eye on later on, as the Stracker there in the background fighting away with Sanchez and F1XL Pingers. That they're all 3 cars are separated by a second, if that.
Yeah, they're having a great little battle. Squidgy, Cam, Sanchez, Stracker and Pingers all fighting away. It's Haas, Renault at the moment back there, but great little fight they had through turn 13, 14. They're side by side throughout that whole section, which was great to stay on board with. But penalties already, Gareth, is really crucial for these drivers, and especially for Lightshock trying to lead the championship with Swain and Binary not far off and yet to have penalties. I mean, it is still early on in this race, but you know how crucial those penalties have become in this league this season.
And crucially, and this is not to pick on Simple Chris, but he hasn't got one yet. I know he's been a big advocate of getting penalties of recent weeks, but he's definitely doing better here, as Sloppy's starting to catch up with Lightshock ahead and Simple Chris starting to drop away. Prophet Media looks like he's going to have a move on that AlphaTauri, and they've brought Binary has brought Swain along for the ride into all this, and Simple Chris there into P4 now. Now Prophet Media's back up to 3rd. And it's not ideal for Simple Chris as he kind of pushes the Williams around turns 13 and 14 there. Up the inside. Wow. He tried that earlier, but he tried that earlier on Lightshock. But yeah, a little bit too much wheel spin. But all this is doing is allowing Lightshock and Sloppy to get away a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how Swain and Binary navigate this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's Chris's downfall. He's too much of a racer. He's not thinking about his tyres. You saw him trying to spin up the tyres there, coming up the inside, and it's great for us to watch. But for his tyres, they're not helping at all. So Chris struggling now, and you see he's down to 4th, and he's got Binary of his rear end as well. But luckily, he's still in Profit's DRS. And crucially here, coming down that second straight, Gareth, is the DRS train that we will have between 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. All together, which is good to see on track, but difficult for Profit if he stays outside that DRS window coming out of turn 11.
It looks like he's done a little bit well. He's gone strong into that, so he might very well have that DRS. I'm sure we'll wait and see to see if it flaps open. It does. He has managed to keep in touch with Sloppy for that. And Lightshock's not pulling away as quickly as I thought he would. So the top 6 are separated by probably 3 seconds. And then there's 5.5 down to Squidgy in 7th.
It's all going to come down to pit stops, isn't it? On the first, at least.
there's a Haas sandwich and with a Renault in the middle of
wow.
it. What is going on? That is why I went, ooh, it's all going on over there. I think there's an odd car out here, and that's Pingers in 11th, because it's Haas, Renault, both cars fighting away. And I don't want to say not caring, but those guys are giving it all. At the moment, it's Haas, Renault, but I believe the lap before, it was Renault, Haas. And diving into the pits is Sanchez. He's had enough of those soft tyres.
Yeah, they've been battling since the start of the race. They're a great little ding-dong, and they're giving us a good show as well. 3 abreast coming to turn 13 is not what we expect, but we love to see it, of course, when they do that. And good little race from them, and hopefully they can continue it as the race progresses. All for them there, with Santos coming into the pits early on. But still, I'm just staying on board with the top guys, just in case something happens, as Squidgy gets another penalty on lap 8.
I think WRS Cam picked up a couple as well with all that. And Sinful Chris has made it through Binary, has made it through Sinful Chris before the back straight, which could end up being crucial in the defence against Swain. Now, I wonder how much of this was planned on Binary's part. No DRS for Sinful Chris, but I don't think Swain has got enough to dive up the inside. Sinful Chris surely has to pit at this lap. As Prophet Media, again, is all over the back of that McLaren. He's going to get sick of that. But I think Binary here, that was a wise move to get through Sinful Chris when he did, because all it's going to do is maybe frustrate and hold Swain up just that little bit more. I think Swain let Binary through a little bit easier than he might usually have done to allow, well, just to catch the slipstream through it all. Wonder if Sinful Chris pits. He does. Oh, and Swain follows. Interesting.
Yeah, both in on lap, the end of lap 8. Swain, of course, is going to get held up here because he will still be behind Chris. And he's on to is that hard tyre is for Swain. What does Chris do? Chris does medium tyres, so they're on a different strategy, and of course he's still stuck behind him. He's got to overtake him on the circuit now, and he's on hard tyres as well, and they're coming out into the traffic as well, so this is not what Swain wanted at all.
No, not at all. But with Sinful Chris being on the faster tyre, it might help him out, as I've stuck on board with that. But Sinful Chris has already got a little bit of a gap to Swain, so let's go on board Squidgy Genie and Stracker and Pingers now. It's the cars are dropping off. Sanchez and Cameron. Oh, up the inside there goes Stracker on Squidgy, and the move is done. And Pingers, I think, is just waiting in the wings, really. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Pickled Avenger on a medium compound tyre is up into 9th currently, and will likely lead the way when all this goes through. Is Pingers? No, Pingers doesn't try a move, but Stracker and Squidgy still squabbling away for 5th place, and it's just making them drop further and further off the leading pack. And there goes Stracker. Stracker's gone.
Oh, that's not good for Stracker. I wasn't watching the battle, Gareth, as Prophet made it past Sloppy on this lap as well. And Stracker's already out of he's just retired from the Grand Prix, it looks like, and that's a disappointment. And we have a VSC on track.
Now, no, none of the top guys have pitted, but this VSC will save their tyre wear a little bit. Squidgy now darts in as Pingers, which might actually save them and get them in a little bit of a battle with Sinful Chris and Master Swain.
I think it might, won't it? Yeah, it's worked out for some of the drivers, while others it hasn't. But Swain comes through on the start-finish straight. What about Squidgy? He's just coming out the pits now. He's going to be behind his teammate. But this will, of course, pitting on the VSC is slightly quicker than a average pit stop. So whether that helps those guys, we'll have to wait and see. But really unfortunate for Stracker. He was having a good race there, and unfortunately he is the second driver out of this Grand Prix. We're down to 16 drivers left here at the Circuit of America. Xbox not to get to speeding penalty for speeding under the VSC, so that's not what the other Ferrari wanted either.
Which is really weird because he's in the pit lane. He got that as in the pits. So I wonder if it will serve as drive-through or serve as penalty.
Look, it's pretty slow in the pits from my view, but we'll have to have to wait and see. But Chris is back past Madman coming down straight as well. So Chris trying to catch up to the other guys after pitting earlier with Master Swain. But Master Swain, he's lost out here, Gareth. He's behind Madman as well, which well, he wasn't. I don't think he was before. He may have been before. I'm not 100% on that. But still, the top guys, Binary. Oh, say that Binary's into the pits, but Sloppy, Medium, Light Shock, all staying out. Are they trying to do soft to medium? Surely not.
I mean, they've done weirder things as WRS Cam and Pingers is having a big ding dong through 13, 14 and 15 and now into 16, 17 and 18. Cam has kept the position at the moment. And medium compound tyres for Binary. He's definitely going to try it to the end of the Grand Prix. It is possible. It's not advisable, I think is the best way to describe it. But Binary has done weirder things, but he's going to drop behind Master Swain through all this. And Family Guy, crucially for Swain, there is a buffer of Family Guy. Now, Binary will still overtake Swain at this, but he's going to use more tyre life. And at the end of this Grand Prix, Swain is going to be the guy to watch.
He's going to have to do 18 laps on those medium tyres. I know it can be done, but how they feel after 18 laps, they will feel like he's driving on boulders rather than tyres at the end of this Grand Prix. And Swain, like you mentioned, on hard tyres, you can let him by because you know he will be quicker later on in the Grand Prix. So, well, bold move from Binary there. Whether he can pull it off, we'll have to wait and see.
We've seen him do similarly bold strategies. Now, I will just quickly check. Sorry, I shouldn't have checked. I had like an emergency WhatsApp chat thing pop up, and I was like, oh no, something's happened in the race. It's nothing to do with the race at all, as Light Shock and Prophet Meaty pop into the pits. Sloppy has a penalty as well. So Madman, has yet to pit, as has Pickled Avenger. So they are kind of a roadblock to Master Swain. So let's go on board with that, because Binary's already up behind Swain, and Binary's trying already to overtake Swain there. That's I would say that's a little bit of a I'm trying to think of the nicest way to put this, but that's a bit bold again to try that there. And up the inside he will upbrake up. I mean, Binary is throwing everything on the table and leaving nothing behind, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see the move personally, but I just saw, I was watching staying on board with Chris, who's back up into the lead of the Grand Prix after pitting a little bit earlier than the rest of the drivers. Again, on the medium tyre. So it looks like he will have to pit again, and there's no penalties for Cam, but Sloppy looking race behind Madman here, and can Sloppy got the inside into turn 11? It looks like he's going to, and that is him up into P5, but whether he can defend that is another question as they come down towards turn 12. Madman under pressure from Binary as they come down the straight. The Ferrari goes to the inside line. He should be able to get past him under the brakes. But Madman, we've seen good racing from him before, but he's just not close enough at the moment to get back past the Ferrari. But of course, Madman yet to pit in this Grand Prix. But Binary up in the 6th place, and Swain behind Sanchez now as well. Sanchez has managed to get through past the Red Bull driver as well. So Master Swain dropping back a little bit here. I don't know if he's got damage after that contact with Binary.
I don't think there's damage to the Red Bull. I think Sanchez is on a set of softs, so I think Sanchez is on a very odd strategy. A soft medium is probably the likelihood for the Haas driver, and he's just getting himself some stream time, really, going up the inside of Madman down the straight. Will he have anything in it? And Pickled Avenger now holding up Sloppy into turn 1, and Pickled Avenger's not liking it at the moment. Those tyres are screaming, and he's now holding Binary up, and this is doing wonders for Prophet Meaty and Sloppy, really. As it's Master Swain going around up the inside of Madman. I think that is medium compound tyres on 12 lap old for Pickled and Madman. They are struggling.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? But watch out for Sanchez now. Soft tyres behind Binary. As Master Swain's up the inside of Madman, late on the brakes. Bit of a locker, but he is through. But stay on board There's Binary, Pickle, Vendor and Sanchez. Who's going to come out on top? It looks like it's the Ferrari that's got through at the moment. Down to turn 12. Lots of overtaking through here, but watch out for Sanchez. He gets past the Williams as well, but can't get past the Ferrari yet. But Sanchez looking incredibly racy, of course, being on the soft tyres. But how long will he be able to stay racy is another question. But Sanchez up in P6. Can he get past Binary next?
That's his next target. This is really gonna hamper Binary in his pursuit of the leaders, and Sloppy really, because he's gonna have to worry about the guy behind. He's gonna try and make a couple of overtaking moves in the next couple of laps, and that's for certain. But yeah, it's like you said, whether the softs will hold out or not. But Sanchez then up into P6 currently, and will chase down Binary into turn 1. Will he do anything? I don't think he will on this lap, but those softs probably have got another 2 laps worth of life left in them.
Yeah, they haven't got long as Squidgy gets past Madman down in 10th and 11th. Madman really falling down the order now, but just back at the front quickly. Chris still leading us by 5/10 with Lightshock in second and more penalties at the bottom. I think 3 have popped up then. Profit in P3, but crucially, Profit and Sinful Chris haven't got any penalties, Gareth. So, at the moment, barring anything else, they will, Profit will jump Lightshock, but we'll have to wait and see. Still a long way to go, only at the halfway point at the moment.
And neither does Binary or Master Swain, looking back into 8th, because these are the guys really looking for it at the end. But some big names, as Sinful Chris has been overtaken by Lightshock into, has Binary got Sloppy into turn 12? He has. There's too much action going on to keep in hold of everything. And Master Swain now drops behind Squidgy Genie. Is that a lag spike?
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, no. Yeah, he's dropped back to 11th now. He stopped at the look like the end of turn 12, and he's all over the place now. That's really unfortunate for him.
Is it any damage to the Red Bull, or is it just... I can't see any, as Lightshot gets fastest lap of the race. Now he's disposed of Sinful Chris. And I wonder if Prophet Media will try and dispose of Lightshock as well. But heartbreak again for Master Swain. Issues there. But Sloppy did lose a position to Binary. We thought that was going to happen anyway because of penalty. Sanchez then all over the back of Sloppy. But will Sloppy come back at Binary? It looks like he's going to try, as Binary doesn't have really much of a defence. He's got no DRS down the back straight.
No, he does not. I'm just thinking in my head, just looking at the medium runners, Pickle Avenger, Family Guy and Madman, 40 laps. I mean, is it worth pitting now to actually try and stay sort of almost relevant in this Grand Prix, or is it worth just staying out and trying to stay on camera? I'm just a bit confused why they're staying out so long on those medium tyres in this early stint.
Well, they're going as long as, from what I can see, they're going as long as they can to go to the softs at the end of the Grand Prix. So the softs will take you 9 laps, so they will be pitting lap. Well, I say they take you 9 laps. They'll take you 10 because they won't have competitively, I guess. And yeah, they're going to be doing it for that reason. I is the only thing I can think of. But they're dropping down the order. So the likes of Lightshock, Sinful Chris, who's 3 laps older than Lightshock, their tyres are going to be screaming at the end of the Grand Prix. Binary's in a very similar situation. And into the pits is Family Guy, so he's had enough. What does he go on to, though? It's a set of softs for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, he's way down now, 15th for a Family Guy, so a long way to return. But Chris is a penalty as well, so that's first and second with penalties here in America. I mean, Profit currently leads this Grand Prix on countback, but again, still 12 laps remaining. Binary in a sole, well, he's on his own in 4th, as Cam gets a penalty as well. But Swain really gutting for him now, 12th place for the Red Bull driver. It just, you can't catch a break, Gareth.
No, we talk about how bad luck has gone for Binary and Lightshock. It just doesn't seem to have stuck away. It's just kept on board, unfortunately, with the Red Bull driver, and he's got a long way to go, and now he's stuck behind WRS Cam and Pingers. His tyres will be good at the end, but I think it will be too late at that point, as Binary is struggling to catch back up with Profit and Sinful Chris and Lightshock up ahead, as Sanchez receives a 3-second time penalty and he's still to pit. So when he pits, he's going to be quick as well. So another one to watch with all this. And we're still waiting Pickled and Madman to pit. Will they pit yet? And there they are, going into the pits.
Just looking at penalties as well, Cam has got 18 seconds. So he's not far been disqualified from this Grand Prix. So he's got to be careful, and there's still over 10 laps remaining. Is it 24 seconds and he disqualified? I can't remember off the top of my head. It's 20 something, I know, before you get disqualified. So Cam's not far off losing the only point to finish for Renault in this Grand Prix, and it might not even be that because of the amount of penalties he's got.
It's either 24 or 27. I can't really remember, to be honest. I think it all depends as well, as Binary slowly creeping up onto the top three. Sloppy's dropped off from the Ferrari driver, which is a shame because he was at one point leading the Grand Prix, so he's dropped off a little. Sorry, he was second, not leading. So drop off there. But interestingly enough, it's only 3 drivers without penalties at the moment: Profit, Binary, and Swain. And those drivers, those guys, they just keep that together. They're going to, Profit's going to gain massively. Swain is likely to gain quite handsomely as well.
But crucially, the drivers he's fighting in the title race are on limited penalties. Binary on 0, Lightshock with 1. So as good as it is not having penalties, he will jump up. It's the fact he's still behind his rivals as Cam gets another penalty. Just on board with Cam actually. He just straight lines turn 19. And that's up to 21 seconds now, so not good for the Renault drivers. Sanchez into the pits on lap 18 onto medium tyres, and that will get him to the end of the Grand Prix with new lap record of 33.6 from Family Guy there. So pretty racy, but back at the front still, Lightshock leading the way, but he's not getting away either, Gareth. So these guys still ready to race if need be.
Yeah, they're still going strong as Master was that Family Guy and Pred having a little bit of a ding-dong through there, and it was a 33.565 for Family Guy for people to get back to it. As Swain now picks up a 3-second time penalty as Family Guy goes up the inside of Pred into turns 11 and will pick up the DRS as well as making the move done early.
Yeah, good job, Family Guy there, but further in front actually. That's Swain trying to go down the inside of Cam through turn 12, but Cam's not making it easy on the Red Bull driver. Can he hang it round the outside through 14? Looks like he has. Can Cameron switch it back up the inside? Yes, he does. He brakes late, and that's him back up through the inside through turn 15. A bit of contact through both the drivers. I'm not sure that was the cleanest moves from Cam, and that's not helping Swain's chances whatsoever in this Grand Prix. Down to ninth, and Cam is not making this easy for the championship contender of Master Swain.
I don't see the logic in trying to defend that point there. Surely you would use, as Pred is out of the race, surely you would use that as...
Oh no. Pred's crashed it into the divider between a safety car, between the pit and the racetrack. That is gutting. We've seen it before. I can't remember what race. I think, was it Australia we saw it? Where we had... It's happened while we commentated together, Gareth, but safety car is out. And that will save a lot of these drivers' races here.
Nullify all the gaps. Profit Meady is in control. If they stay out, Profit Meady is in control. If they go into the pits, Profit Meady is in control. That is how it is.
Yep.
Providing, though, there is no hold. I mean, Profit Meady's in a perfect position. His pit stop is right at the end of the Grand Prix. He's not going to get held.
God, it's like that meme with lots of numbers surrounding your head at the moment. There's so many different things you could do here, from the driver's point of view, and what will they do? I mean, do any of the top three come in?
I think
Will Chris come in?
they
Yeah,
should
the
do.
top are they all three? All three are in. What about Binary? Binary is also in. Sloppy late in, but he also follows. And what does Swain do here? Does he stay out?
We've
I
seen
think
him. We've seen him do it
Yeah.
before, stay out. But at this point, it's got to be a pit in, really, as no one really takes the pit lane like they're meant to. You see how late they go in. I suppose it is.
Swain stays out.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that's the best idea. I don't think that's a good idea from Swain, because he's still behind his championship rivals. Yeah, debatable choice there. I'll be honest.
it's yeah. I don't think I would have either hard compound tyres. These softs are going to go until the end of the Grand Prix. Interesting choice. We've seen him do it before, and it's succeeded. I think he just wanted track position, but this track is not about track position. It's about speed. As Sanchez,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Sanchez didn't go in, but I suppose he's used his spare set of softs. Pinger's softs, everyone else on softs. Will Nuthead go into the pits? He does. He stayed out an extra lap to make sure he didn't held Binary up. Now that is what you call teammate. I wonder now if Master Swain will pit or if he will go into the just stay out. This is interesting to say the least with what is going on. I'm kind of lost for words that the safety car came out, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was blocking the pit lane, so I'm not surprised it came out, but it's really mixed up everything. And well, if you look at the grid, everyone bar Swain is on 2-lap old tyres. So what can Swain do really? And can Binary get back past the top three? He struggled to keep up with them earlier on. There was always a gap that he couldn't keep up with. So whether he can stay with them. Sloppy, again, your prediction up there still. He does have. Let's look at, while we've got the chance, let's look at penalties. They're all okay. So it's only 3 seconds for the top 6 with their penalty situation. But the fact that Binary and Profit still don't have any penalties is quite crucial in this fight. If they can stay together, that will really come into play in the last couple of laps. But I'm locked and loaded, Gareth, ready for the final sprint race for the win here in the US of A.
Wow, it's going to be crazy to say the least. And I'm just having a look through all of the penalties and everything that's come through. There has been a fair whack today as terminal damage there. That's what's caused this safety car. Is the Red Bull driver of SF Pred. No more in the race. But let's do that. Penalties on the side there. Cam on 21 seconds down in 12th. The safety car has not helped him whatsoever. And wow, I mean, Swain has some balls. That's all I'll say.
Well, those balls are too big. That might be the problem here with his strategy option. But whether safety car comes in on this lap or next, we'll have to wait and see. I'm just hoping that Nutter can catch up to the back of the train. He should be able to in time for the restart. And he's on fresh tyres as well. So he'll be racy once the race kicks off again. But can Leitchuk hold the lead? Or will Chris get it? Or someone else? It's going to be a title finish. I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, this is what we wait for, we race for. This is this is what it's all about. I haven't seen the safety car in message yet, so I'm wondering if there's another lap to go. The
Like,
Commentator's curse or whatever. Lightshock then will take control of this safety car. Well, he will be the safety car effectively of this restart. Swain then bunching him up. Look at this. Swain bunching up to Sloppy is what I was meant to say. But will Lightshock, when will he go? Has he already gone? Has he gone early? A lot earlier than I thought he would be, and it's not really giving him the advantage over Sinful Chris that he would have wanted. Everyone then being on softs, and look at the defence from Binary. Swain's already being caught and overtaken by Sanchez there, and well, Binary is having to be really defensive against Sloppy. Sloppy is not giving him an ounce of sleep, but at the moment it is Prophet Meady winning with Binary in second. That's what it will be at the moment. But there is still plenty to play for as WRS Cam gets another penalty there. And Swain then dropping off a little bit from Sanchez. And this is problematic for the Red Bull driver. He could finish outside of the points at the moment. But here comes Sinful Chris again on Lightshock. Will he have anything in the tank to overtake the AlphaTauri? At the moment, I think it's too soon. I think he's going to need DRS.
Watch out for Sloppy, though, coming into turn 12. He looks for it and further back. Squidgy's getting past Master Swain as well, and they're three abreast further back. Pingers, Cam, and Madman are three abreast coming into turn 12. A little bit of contact there between those two drivers. Jeez, it is kicking off the back of the grid. Fair play to these guys. They're going ham right to the end.
And WRS Cam is doing exactly what he did to Swain and keeping that position ahead of Pingers at the moment, but Pingers is going around the outside. I'm trying to keep an eye on the times as well, see if anything happens up above, but nothing on this occasion. Family Guy then, and Madman, as Lightshot gets fastest lap of the race, and Prophet Meady is falling away from the leaders.
He is, isn't he? Yeah. And back now. I'm not sure whether it was a mistake through the final corner to lose so much time, but crucially he's got to stay within that DRS zone, otherwise Binary will be on the back of him and Sloppy following in suit. But can he get within the DRS? Should be able to. Just outside, just inside at the moment, but he should be able to. But he does faster sector 1 from Prophet, so he's don't think there's any problem for him, just a mistake earlier in the late in the previous lap. But they come down towards turn 11 for the 23rd time. Who's going to come out on top coming down this straight?
It's going to be interesting as Swain is dropping down the order a little bit. Oh, and Madman's gone. I didn't see all of that, but Madman has gone. And is he out of the race? All I saw was a spinning Mercedes. And not sure what's going on there as WRS Cam going up the inside of Swain into P9. And let's have a look at that Mercedes quickly, if I can. Is there any damage to it, or is he all right? Somehow there's no damage to that front wing. He has kept that rather clean as Swain is losing 2 positions, I think, through 15 there, and I think he has, and that's now down to 12th for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, I think it's a real error for him not pitting earlier, Gareth, and like I said, he's likely to not finish in the points now with what's going on, unfortunately for him. But again, Prophet losing more time at the end of lap 23, and he's outside that 1.4 back now. I can't see any damage on that front wing. It looks to be okay on my screen, but it may be something we don't know about. Outside of that, as Madman has retired from the session, it looks like in the pits, so no safety car for that reason. But on the straight, once again, Binary looking very racy as they come towards turn 11.
Binary's got a penalty.
Go for it. Oh, it does. Didn't even see that. So
sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. It was an important moment. I'm happy to get across that. And as we talk about Binary, he's through past the Williams and up into P3. But with all the penalties they've got, it's still Prophet leading at the moment. But still 4 laps remaining, and anything can happen.
Yeah, crazy stuff, and that's what I'll keep on. I'll keep the penalties on the screen for the time being, just to show what is going on. And well, Prophet Meaty is really struggling on these softs. I can't, like you say, I can't see any damage on that Williams, but he's dropping down the order. And the timing as well. Everyone else seems to be just flying at the moment. And there, talk about flying, there goes Binary, fastest lap of the race, which I'm not sure. I didn't think they were allowed to give when they did if they got a penalty that lap or a warning that lap. But no comment. As everyone coming through the first sector there, the top 5 pulling away from everyone else below. Sanchez in kind of a word of his own, but he's got his teammate for company. And Pickled Avenger up into P8. WRS Cam, who will drop massively. The penalties are still going to play a huge part in this Grand Prix.
Oh, 100%. It's the race isn't over yet, and they will come into play. And looking at this now, and it looks like Sloppy is going to get Prophet Meaty. I'm really not sure what's happened to Prophet. He's really falling off the cliff here. Goes incredibly defensive into turn 12, and Sloppy trying to get up the inside, but there is literally no room to go up the inside. The Williams defends that hard, and he is really struggling at the moment on lap 25. I'm not sure what's going on, and Binary is getting away from them. And with the current gaps on screen, Prophet will not win this Grand Prix, so he needs to get a move on with 3 laps remaining.
Yeah, it's fallen back into Lightshock's hand. Maybe the safety car has just knocked the rhythm out of him. That is the only thing I can think of, really, because he's now dropping even further back, and it could very well fall outside of the podium places altogether. With 3 laps remaining and Sloppy all over the back of the Williams, he could be in serious trouble here, but he just seeming like he's losing all kind of grip. And I wonder, the only thing I can think of is that his pit crew has put on a set of tyres from qualifying, and Sanchez is gone.
Yeah, he's gone at the exit of turn 1. He was on board with Master Swain and trying to look for his car. Always, struck on the right side, broken right wheel there, and that's him out. Sloppy gets a second penalty, so that's not going to help Sloppy's chances in this Grand Prix. But I think Swain had another glitch, Gareth, and he's dropped down to 13th. Now we'll keep an eye on Chris. Chris is going to try to get up the inside through past Lightshot, but not close enough. But there's so much going on at the moment. Things are happening all over the circuit. But unfortunately for Sanchez, he is out of this Grand Prix. We've only got 13 runners left. We start with 18, so not the best haul of cars finishing in a big old bill for some of these teams.
And Prophet Meaty's 2.9 behind Binary now. And his podium chances are pretty much out of the way now, I think. I mean, he was so dominant. He was so quick in the early stages and within the medium running race, and now he's just dropped off.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what's happened, Prophet. If he finishes on the podium, we'll have a chat to him. But I don't. At this rate, he will not finish on the podium with 2 laps remaining. Really not sure what's going on at the moment. But sort of give a quick shout out to Cam, who's got a big old train behind him. The amount of penalties he's on, he's driving so carefully, and now there's a big old ding dong as well. The Sanchez left the session, but between Pickled, Family Guy, and a Nuthead, and there's another retirement. Squeeze Genie has retired, so we're down to 12 runners here. At this rate, Swain will be back in the points.
I mean, it is possible. I think 27 seconds. He will finish still ahead of WRS Cam, but Prophet Meaty is somehow. I don't. It's a big conundrum that Williams at the moment, as his teammate Pickled Avenger is he's not really there with WRS Cam at the moment, and he's the one actually with the train behind. As Nuthead is currently in P9 and will finish P7 at this rate.
It's a lap to go. Anything can happen. I mean, fingers crossed for Nuthead. But the last lap, Gareth, just looking, Lightshock, Chris, and Binary all the same penalties. However, ERS usage, Binary's high 40s, while Sinful Chris and Lightshock are in the low 20s. So Binary on the back of them now is going to be a phenomenal final lap here in America.
I mean, if we know Binary as well, he'll probably look at the warnings that he got and try and dispute the penalty. We will wait and see, but it is split just over a second between the three of them at the moment. And, wow, crazy racing at the moment from the guys out there here at the Circuit of Americas at the moment. I think, just quickly to drop on to Sanchez and Squidgy, I think they came together. I think that's why Sanchez has retired, and because Squidgy dropped from from 6th, sorry, to 10th and 11th quite rapidly there, as Master Swain now 19 seconds behind 11th place, and well, Binary's not able to do anything.
Watch
but
out.
Sinful Chris is around the outside. Will he have it? He's trying his best. They're still side by side. Simple Chris is... Oh, he's got the grip, has he? He has got the grip. He's overtaken Lightshock on turn number 13. Or was it 14, 15, whatever it was. Lightshock is going to be fuming because it's happened. That's the second time it's happened to him this season. Australia was the last time with Binary, and Binary now looking like he's going to try and make a move, but there is nothing to it. I don't think he's got enough. Oh, he's going to dive up the inside. Surely not. That is... Oh, now that is naughty from Binary, going off the track to give himself the advantage. Lightshock is going to be unhappy with that.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Do I want to talk to the drivers after this?
It's going to be an interesting one, but Lightshock dropping from 1st to 3rd in all of that. Sinful Chris wins. He started on pole and finished in the lead after a hectic race. Binary in 2nd and Lightshock in 3rd. Now, I just want to quickly look at the standings just to see if that is Sinful Chris's... Yeah, I don't think Sinful Chris has finished higher than 3rd this season, and I am right. It is his first time he's been that high up this season. He's finished on the podium plenty of times, but that is a great way to finish all of that. Now, let's... quickly go through this. Wait for this to pop through and show the actual finishing positions, because obviously penalties were a huge part of this Grand Prix. And let's have a look. It is Sinful Chris, like we know, taking victory here with Binary in P2. Lightshock came home in 3rd, rounding out the podium there. And 4th is Prophet Media. He just couldn't do anything to keep up with the runaway leaders in the end there. His soft reason for no reason there. But we'll wait and see. I'm sure he will let us know in the chat why he was a little bit slower. Sloppy then coming home in 5th. And Xbox Nuthead, is that the highest position of the season for the Ferrari driver? No, it's joint highest with Japan and China, and America now joins that for the Ferrari driver. Pickled Avenger then coming home in P7, and Turkey's coming home in P8. Family Guy in the McLaren then in P9, and F1XL Pingers finishing in 10th. With only 2 more drivers finishing the race, and that's 11th for WRS Cam and Swain in 12th. The rest are DNFs, and that's a fair few drivers to DNF in this race.
Yeah, a lot of drivers DNF in that race, and tricky race. Penalties really came into play and messed up with the standings, but the drivers gave it their all tonight, didn't they? And it was a great old watch tonight. And yeah, some controversy at the end there, and Lightshock's already left the session, so I don't think he wants to talk to us. Talk to us, Gareth.
No, he's not joining. He said in the chat he's not joining. He's unhappy, which is fair enough. I'd rather that than him coming onto the stream and swearing away. So he's done the right thing there.
Do we want to just stick with talking to Chris due to minimise controversy?
I think that's probably best. Give
Okay.
Chris plenty of time because it's the first time he's an F1 winner this season, and I think Nuthead is probably happier. But I'll pass over to you on that and let you take it away.
Well, Chris, well done on your win today. We did not expect it. Pole and the race winner, and getting it on the last lap as well. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. First ever win in XL as well, so that's a bonus. Good way to do it on the last lap as well. I gave it everything that race and reaped the rewards at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, getting that overtake on the final lap, and we saw you your audacious moves down the inside of 13 and 14 throughout that race, and it was a great watch for us in the commentary box. I mean, was just this track just one you've always liked, or was it lots of practice this week to be up there and amongst the top guys?
Nah, I've always liked this track. To be honest, on previous games, I haven't really gelled with it, but last year and this year's just sort of really found my feet with it. But nah, that was a tough battle. That first stint was really hard. I was dropping like a fly because I was just overheating my front right, and I just had no turning. I just understeered through every corner, which is, I think I dropped down to 4th or 5th at the time. Thought I'd pit early, and the undercut was absolutely massive. I didn't even expect to come out in the lead when I did, which helped. And then Mark pulled us along nicely for the rest of the race, and I was just sort of saving my ARS and trying to hang on to his coattails, because I think had he broke the ARS from us, I think he would have been away. But it's once you're in that train, he pulled along nicely. So thanks to him for bringing us that. And like I say, it was just sort of I was lining them up a few laps previously to that, because he made a mistake at the hairpin before the straight, but I didn't have enough juice enough. Thought there was a couple of races ago where Matt passed him there in another league on the last lap, so I understand why he's a bit angry at the minute, especially with the last corner with Binary. So it's a shame I'm here on my own, but I'll take the win and drink the champagne on my own, I suppose.
Yeah. Well done on the win, and of course pole as well. And do you think you've got any? I mean, you're in 4th at the moment, a big haul of points tonight. Do you think you've got any chance of knocking on the door with the top guys for the championship, or is that, do you think, too far out of your reach?
Nah, I think I had a couple of bad races when Swain, Binary, and Light Truck all had really good podiums when I didn't do so well, and I think that's stretched the gap a bit too far. I mean, I said sort of halfway through I'd have loved to catch Swain and get in on that battle. I think I'm still a bit too far away. I don't know how many races is left, but I know there's not many. I'll get as close as I can, and my form's sort of picking up, so hopefully I can take that into next season and be there from the start rather than sort of catching up towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, you never know. This league is one of the craziest ones I've ever participated in, so we'll have to wait and see. But well done on your win here in the Circuit of America, and I'll hand it back to Gareth to run off the stream.
Yeah, congratulations there, Simple Chris. I thought you'd won in F1XL before, so yeah, apologies.
No, I've got plenty of seconds, but I haven't won yet.
So,
well, I have now, but
congratulations on your first ever F1XL victory. Here's me going on
thank
about it's his first F1 victory this year, and I was completely wrong.
Well, you weren't wrong.
But there we go. Will be back.
It's nice to get that third place off my back, because I think every time I've been on the podium, I've been third, which Techno keeps reminding us about. So you can stop saying that now.
Yeah, that last week was your 5th third. It looks like. So yes.
Yeah, because Binary jumped after his penalty got removed.
So yeah, congratulations on that one. For finally get that monkey off your shoulder.
Cheers.
Now, we will be back on Wednesday for the F1XL Extra Show, where we will run down all the league's actions and, well, the controversy that was the last corner here in F1 as well. I'm sure that's going to bring up some interesting talking points throughout. But for myself and Ollie, we are finished for the night. Thank you very much for watching. Congratulations for everyone who actually managed to finish the race, because that seemed like a feat in itself today. But yeah, we will see you in the next one.